The amount of videos that keep rolling through my timeline of teachers that are not returning to the classroom after the winter break tomorrow should have you parents concerned.
As a substitute teacher, I am encountering a really concerning number of students who truly do not see any value in learning.
Get down! Get out now! I swear to God!
Alright, so today, I'd like to talk to you about teachers quitting their jobs. I recently saw this headline: more than 1,000 Arizona teachers have quit since July. Why? Now, I had no idea this was happening until I saw this article. There's so much stuff constantly happening in the world that important issues like this often get neglected. Before we get started, if you like topics and discussions like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you. At first, the article states the problem could be financial. In Arizona, the average teacher salary is less than $63,000, which is about $10,000 less than the national average. While that does suck, the article goes on to explain that Horn, Arizona Superintendent of Public Instruction, believes teachers are quitting because administrators are not supporting teachers in disciplining students. Actions have to have consequences. Now, I thought consequences were a given, but I guess a lot has changed since I was in school. I remember you'd get detention for just talking back to teachers, and if parents got involved, oh boy, 9 times out of 10, the parents would side with the teacher. Students would get suspended or expelled for fighting. It was normal to have consequences, and so students behaved. But nowadays, if there are no consequences for terrible behavior, then how does a classroom or school even function? If society had no rules, how would society function?
The amount of videos that keep rolling through my timeline of teachers that are not returning to the classroom after the winter break tomorrow should have you parents concerned. But let me tell you why they're not coming back. Because of the other videos that we keep seeing of you delusional ass parents and your bullshit. Case in point, there's a lady right now that is so upset. She is livid that her son cannot participate in the school play because that is a consequence from him pulling down another kid's pants at school.
If teachers are quitting immediately after their winter break, then that's gotta mean being in those classrooms must be terrible for the teachers. I mean, how often does a person just up and quit their job? Especially nowadays, when getting another job is nearly impossible. So she mentioned that a mother is upset that her son can't perform in a school play because he pantsed another student. Now look, I'm glad parents are involved in their children's lives and taking an interest in their school life. I think when done in a healthy way, that is actually a good thing. But this sounds like the parent has no boundaries and is dismissive of their child's behavior. I'm not sure why it's hard for people to accept that there has to be consequences. Why should someone else's child be subjected to bullying and then the bully gets to walk off scot-free? We can take a look at some comments. I quit. A student assaulted me and nothing was done. 0 consequences, no support from admin, it got messy, peace out. Gentle parenting is destroying a generation of children. As an educator, hearing parents complain about holiday break and how long it is literally is gagging me. Like if this hasn't been happening for years. Get a grip. So, parents don't like it when their own children are home? Doesn't that contradict the whole notion of being a parent in the first place? This comment says, I'm trying to make it to summer. It's only my 2nd year. I feel like a quitter. But I am just a babysitter with a degree. I can't teach. I'm so done. This last comment says, it's a combination of parents and lack of support from the administration. That's what makes it so hard for us. Keep us in your prayers. There are hundreds of more comments of people talking about their experiences. I know teachers have been taken for granted and are underappreciated, but they are a vital part of our world. So if they have to fight a losing battle every single day, then is it wrong for them to leave their teaching careers? I think, just like any other career, they have the same opportunities to leave and find something better for themselves. But what do you think? I've also seen a trend on TikTok of teachers quitting. This first one says, how it feels going to sleep tonight, knowing that I don't have to wake up tomorrow and teach children because I quit my teaching job in the middle of the year. Another one says, point of view, you're sitting at your desk for the last time and nobody knows you're not coming back after winter break. This one says, point of view, you're clearing out your classroom and nobody knows you're not coming back after winter break. This last one says, I never thought I would quit teaching, but here I am quitting mid-year. So what exactly is the problem? What exactly are teachers dealing with in their classroom?
At this point, y'all, I just need to start a documentary. There is no way that it's 11:15 and I'm on the brink of tears because I want to go home so bad. These kids are horrible. Horrible. They don't care about learning. The parents don't hold them accountable. They don't make their kids hold themselves accountable. The admin does not hold the parents of the children accountable. They say they hold the kids accountable, but they go to the office and they come back and they do the same thing. It's awful.
Before I say anything, let's take a look at some of the comments people left. The school is scared of the parents are scared of the kids, and the kids aren't scared of anybody. My kids cannot read. I teach high school. It's 100% the parents. School is nothing but daycare for most of these parents. They stopped holding kids back as well. That's part of the problem. So from the clip we saw, and these comments, it seems like teachers are fighting an uphill battle. If the students don't care, the parents don't care, there is no support from the admins, and there are no consequences for the students, then it's a losing battle. So what's the point? If the only people in the system that actually care about education are the teachers, but they can't get the support they need, and if the rest of the system is against them, then no wonder they are quitting. If I was in their shoes, I'd probably quit too. But the school system isn't the only thing broken here. It is also the effects technology is having on students.
Okay, this is becoming a genuinely concerning issue. As a substitute teacher, I am encountering a really concerning number of students who truly do not see any value in learning, because as one of the 4th and 5th graders that I was teaching the other day asked me, why do I need to know any of this if a computer or AI can do it for me? A little girl didn't want to learn how to read because why would she need to when she could have the computer read it to her? Why would she need to know how to count when a calculator could do it, or when she could just take a picture of her math problem and have the AI do it for her? This is a legitimate issue, because if for whatever reason we lose the ability to have access to these things, we have an entire generation of kids who's going to be entirely helpless without the internet, and that is not okay. If you as a parent are encouraging this behavior and allowing your child to use AI for everything, you have a problem, and you need to be teaching them otherwise.
She hit the nail on the head. If they lose access to online tools, then we'll have an entire generation of kids that are entirely helpless. And that's so frightening. The different infrastructures that keep electricity running and hold the internet up are fragile. If an entire generation can't think on their own, then they are doomed in the long run. I'm not even going to get into the political and control implications that this can lead to, but it's like this comment says, Idiocracy Was A Documentary. If you haven't seen that movie, I highly recommend taking the time to watch it. It's about 90 minutes long, so it shouldn't take up much of your time. Idiocracy came out in 2006, and you'll see that we're walking lockstep with a lot of the problematic causes that movie shows. I think this comment right here shines light on a broader current systematic issue. Parents have to work multiple jobs to just survive. Kids are often on the computer or internet as a result of parents working themselves to death. This is a huge issue. None of this is okay. Yeah, it's difficult to live on a single income today, and day by day, that single income isn't going as far. Inflation is still running higher than the 2% rate that the Fed wants, and the current administration wants to cut interest rates further, which will most likely cause inflation to spike back up. So parents have to keep working, often multiple jobs, to keep a roof over their families' heads. Parents have no time to spend with their kids. They're stressed about money, they're tired from working long hours each week, and the kids' time is occupied by the internet. Right now, the teachers are able to see the damage that technology is inflicting on the entire generation.
Random teacher rant. Look, man, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why children are not able to retain information anymore. Like, what's the problem? We just spent 3-4 weeks practicing, rehearsing, to going over the lessons, doing worksheets, doing whiteboard work, small group, whole group, repeat it again. And then we come to the test. And I got kids looking at me like, I don't know what to do. Yo, we just spent all this time and you retained nothing? And it'd be different if it was 1 or 2 kids, but it's like 10. At that point, I'm like, what do you want me to do? And talking with other teachers, they're saying it's the same thing happening in their class. I'm just like, where is it going? Is it just my class? Or y'all struggling to retain too? Like, I quit.
Right now, a majority of these problems are confined to the school system. But once these kids are old enough and have to deal with the real world, how are they going to function? What is going to happen to them? Now, I have seen some clips of people talking about the behavior issues students are exhibiting, and as a result, some new possible solutions are being brought to the forefront.
If your child cannot behave in the classroom and their behavior is disrupting the instructional learning of other students, then they should lose their privilege to a free and public education. If your child is throwing books and flipping tables and cussing the teacher out and disrupting the educational process for all the students in the classroom, then they lose their right to a free and public education, and they should be turned back over to their parents who can homeschool them or can pay for them to go to a school that can handle their behavior. Now, I'm not talking about special education students.
Here are some of the comments. I had a student utterly destroy the nurse's office. I'm talking computers shattered, broken windows and all. Police were called. Back in class the next day. Yes, 100% to all of this. Teachers and students don't feel safe. No learning is happening. The parents can't handle them. Until parents step up and hold their kids accountable, we will continue to have these issues.
Now! Get down! Get out now! I swear to God! Get the fuck down!
Personally, I think these modern problems require new solutions, even if the solutions are stricter. Because where does this lead? If other students can't learn, or the entire classroom is focused on a handful of students that can't behave themselves, then wouldn't the most reasonable solution be to just remove those problematic students? So what do you think? Should problematic students be removed from schools? And if no solutions and corrective measures are actually implemented, how does any of this actually improve? Alright, so that's all I have for you guys today. If you're interested in topics and discussions similar to this, then please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.